Welcome to the foundation. It is yours truly, the incredible DJ Battle in the building. And hey, as you can see, man, running a solo act. But hey, this is how I go because the show must go on. And on that note, man, let's jump basically into disclaimer time. All right, now it's disclaimer time. Basically, letting you guys know that hey, it's just the king up in here, and hey, I'm just going to cover a few topics in between the last show and the current one. And as you already know, man, I don't want no drama, no BS, no legal issues, none of the above, because it's for entertainment purposes only. Now, on that note, man, if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the like button. You know the spill, the whole nine. And we're gonna jump straight into these topics because you know I want the algorithm to kick up. It's a new year. We definitely got to get those numbers up. But man, oh man, let's jump straight into it. The end of an era is all over with. The curtains have come down, and we started out with the 5'6" or 5'7" President Biden, and somehow we leave with a nearly 7 foot tall Biden. I don't know how that happened. How you get a growth spurt that late? But anyway, man, to be all serious, this his presidency is going to be looked at, with some eyes, of course, and with great reason, especially with so much money being given to Ukraine. I mean, over his tenure, let me see, he's given out a total of 175 billions with a B to Ukraine. So, and that's including the 66 billion that he just doled out. Now, keep in mind everything that we have going on here in our country, from the fires to, the hurricane relief damages and across the east Atlantic area, or the Appalachian area, or the damages from the hurricanes. I guarantee you they don't see nowhere near 175 billion dollars. I mean, come on, man, take care, home. I'm not trying to be mean or disrespectful, but don't you supposed to take care of home first before you go all over the place trying to help somebody else? It's a real simple concept, right? Real simple concept. But that's cool. That curtain is over with, but he couldn't just stop there. Nah. He wanted to dole out some pardons right before he got out of office. And of course he slid his son up in there, which we shouldn't see as a surprise. Like, what father's gonna leave his son on the hook to serve some time, even though he may have deserved it? But what father in their right mind is gonna leave the son out to dry? But here's the one that everyone should keep an eye on. This guy right here, who should have been, my take on it. This guy need to be locked up for crimes against humanity for obvious reasons. I don't want to say it, but y'all know what it is. The jibber jab that went in the arm. And now you start to see videos of him surfacing, basically contradicting some of the methods he stood on science and recommended. Now he started to take a stand and double back and contradict himself. But we saw this coming, you know, and for him to get this pardon, that should let everybody know we were right, you know. And for those who were shamed into, avoiding that clot shot, you should feel vindicated, relieved, but at the same time, you should feel pissed off because why feel the need to pardon him when he hasn't been charged with anything yet? Why you feel the need to pardon him? You ever thought about that? Okay. Well, out with the old and in with the current situation. As you can see, old Trump has been sworn in with the huge crowd. Did you see the huge crowds out there I bet it was 200 trillion out there. It's a record crowd out there, believe me. So he's been sworn in today, and I just find it kind of odd that they wanted to move it indoors at the last minute. I wonder why. I'm pretty sure it don't have anything to do with the huge crowds that he have. So hey, he's in there. This was expected. This was what happens on inauguration day. The president gets sworn in, and it's day one, and his day one is going to be very interesting. He's already having an eventful day, or should I say, eventful weekend. Starting with this right here, man. What's up with this guy right here, man? It's all good. We know the oligarchs are in. We know this is their era. All the billionaires are going to be on the panel or cabinet. Um, Not really qualified, but they just got the bank. So that should be some foreshadowing of things to come. But at the end of the day, they bankroll both sides, so don't get it twisted. But for them to come out the shadows, and it's no longer shadow government. They just some people just love the attention and the arrogance with this pose right here looks awful familiar. You know, they call it a certain Nazi type of salute. But like I said, when folks get very proud and not very proud, but just arrogant and just overly confident and cocky, then you start showing your true colors. You start showing who you really are, and that's cool. We know it. We know exactly what it is. So there's no shock. There's no shock at all. We told you both sides of bankroll, but the beauty of it, you get to see who's been behind the strings the whole time. Now, the other thing that I found interesting, or should I say, at least kind of sad in a way. I mean, and I'm gonna tell you why. As a DJ and entertainer, I can relate to picking up a high profile gig to get big dollars, and I have no problem with that. No problem at all. So this pertains to Rick Ross, Nelly, Soldier Boy. I never heard them say anything about you a sellout if you perform for a certain. No, they never took that position. So I don't have no beef with them, no issue at all. But Snoop, on the other hand, that's the issue. That's because it was 2017 when he gave his little infamous spill about who's going to perform for Trump on his first go around, basically calling them all kinds of basically calling him a coon or sellout, Sambo, whatever you want to label it. He was basically just talking cash shit about them, about them selling out. Then we fast forward. That's in double OP. Who is that? I can't. My eyes can't be tricking me. Is this Snoop performing and DJing for himself at the inauguration? After talking all that smack about calling folks Sambos and man, just humiliating. Like Chrisette Michelle, I feel like Chrisette Michelle didn't deserve the drama she got or the backlash she got for performing. She's a performer. That's how she make a living. So I definitely wasn't for her getting canceled. You know, you got a house to pay for, you got bills to pay, miles to feed. You got an opportunity to take it. And once again, she wasn't on that. Well, I'd never sell out for my culture. It's not about selling out. But Snoop, on the other hand, made it that way and was the first one to shuck and jive and dance. Man, you just put yourself in a Fat Joe situation, Snoop. You just made yourself look. You took a super L on this one. It's gonna be hard to come back from this one. But you know our people. We forgive him, but terrible, bro, terrible. That's all I got to say. But anyway, on to back to Trump's master plan. The first thing that he's talking about doing is rolling out an ICE major enforcement of just pretty rounding up immigrants and shipping them back out of here. Now I'm like, man, how they gonna pull this off? I don't believe they'll do it. I think it's just a fear tactic or maybe some lip service. You know, how can you on one hand, have this campaign on rounding up immigrants, but your folks like Musk and Ramaswamy, they're all about bringing in more qualified immigrants on a visa to take high positions. So to me that's a contradiction. Unless you're gonna get rid of some bad apples as far as immigrants. But I believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it. I just don't see it happening. I could see them. This is a wait and see type of thing. I don't think they'll do it, to be honest with you. That's gonna be kind of tough to just have like I don't know though. I got to really think about that because I did hear about, like I said, in one of those cities. I want to say is it Missouri? It's either Missouri or Oklahoma. Was one of those two states where they're talking about rewarding citizens that can point out immigrants that are there legally and help them get captured. So I'm like, who? So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how this play out. Me personally, like I say, I don't. Either side, it doesn't matter. Especially as a community. Only thing we can do is sit back and watch and continue to be productive and just be ready to do business. But first, we got to clean up our own house and delineate and make sure we're on the same accord. So, yeah, inauguration is definitely a new beginning. It's gonna happen one way or another. So, only thing you have to do is not really take it personal, but just pay attention to see what the rules are and be prepared to make some moves that's going to best fit your situation. But definitely take care of your people. Um, that's all I got to say about that. But moving on along, man. What's the next topic we got here? Now here in my community, man. This story right here. This happened over the weekend. Um, in North Hills at a restaurant, a little upscale restaurant called Coquette in North Hills, out here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, it was a huge police presence there. It was a shooting. One person was shot and killed. Another one was shot with minor injuries. And of course, the shooter um, shot himself. He may have just recently died. So the details were kind of limited, but after doing some investigating, this person behind me, his name is no, his name is George Callum Jr. George Callum Jr. And he was the head chef. Check this out, y'all. He was the head chef. They was at a meeting before the restaurant opened, and this the information I picked up allegedly. This guy right here, Mark Schaefer, is the manager. He's like one of the general managers there, or should I say one of the managers at the restaurant. And apparently, the head chef, this guy got fired. That's when a person gets fired, that's kind of a emotional experience where you don't know how one is going to act, right? So I don't know if the firing took place before the meeting or after or during. I don't know when, but I do know the result was Column shot Schaefer, killed him. So to me is it's I'm just guessing, but it's coming. It's one of those passion crimes. A lot of folks may think that, but then after they get out the door, they really they take a deep breath and they just say, "Hey, I just got to pick up and move on." This guy here was also uh, um, an employee of the restaurant. He was shot in the hand for it was like a non-threatening, life-threatening issue, so he was able to interview um, on TV and everything. But it's just really unfortunate because after seeing the shooter's background and he had a he was he had a charge. He got arrested and charged for another incident just 2 weeks before he got fired, and of course he served prison, which to me doesn't mean anything. That just means that he has some run-ins with the law, and you just once you serve your time, you should have an opportunity to get yourself back together. Um, but I don't know what was it about this position that made him snap and just uh, kill his employer. And I just feel like it's probably it could be the Luigi effect. effect where with folks who feel powerless and they feel like a person have their life in their hands making decisions, then they feel like they need to take them out. To me, it's unfortunate because George could have just said he could have used that as an opportunity to start his own restaurant or food truck, because food trucks are pretty big. I've seen many folks who, turn an unfortunate situation like that into make a turn for the better and become one of those great success stories. But for some reason, George wasn't having it. And he probably realized how bad he messed up and, shot himself. And I think he just recently died. I want to say today. So, unfortunate story, man. That's just the lesson. The lesson is, man, if you get fired and you hit rock bottom, just use that as motivation to be successful. Don't use that as a reason to take someone's life. I mean, it's never worth it. It's unfortunate. But on to the next story. And this story right here is crazy. Happened in Arizona and unfortunate, man. This was a situation where a married man who pulls up to a coffee shop, and he exposes himself. He's a drive-through. A woman comes to the window and she's already filming. So because that's the footage you see behind me. It looks like by the look of his face, he was shocked to see that she had the phone out recording, and he must have had his Johnson out because she was like, "Oh, you sick bastard!" Then he kind of drove off like panicking. And the way he did it, you could tell that he's done it before. At this time, she just had the camera waiting on him. So he's sitting there looking stupid and shocked and like, damn, it just probably just hit him. I got caught. He drove off, and of course, she reported to the authorities. This brother, what's his name? Nautica Malone. He has a wife, child. Made a dumb decision. Dumb decision to pull up to a drive-through, pull his Johnson out. Must have known a female, because why else would you do that? And she put him out there, and he committed suicide. Shot himself and committed suicide. Come on, man. Really? Look what you left behind. You left behind your child, your wife. Come on, man. We get it. You made a bad, dumb decision. I don't understand why anyone would even do anything like that, but okay. You embarrassed. We get that. But take time to learn from it. You may have a hard time getting back with the missus. I get that. But you will always have a relationship with your son. And who knows? Maybe the wife maybe she will forgive you. And just excuse as a lapse of judgment, bad decision. And she could have been forgiven. You never know. But why put that burden and that hole in her heart and be that selfish to do something like that? This could have went so many different ways. You didn't have to end it like that. I was gonna add some humor to it but this is such, being a father, I'm like, man, you leave. It's just to me that's just so painful just to see him leave his family like that. Could have owned up to it. You know what I'm saying? If she would have left, if the missus wouldn't have worked it out, you probably would have got a film deal somewhere. I don't know, but it just ain't no, it wasn't no for him. I guess it just wasn't no coming back for him. But it's all, you can always come back. You can just say you made a lapse of this decision. You was going through some things. Yeah, it would have took a while to bounce back for it, but you still got to be there for your child and your missus just in case y'all could have worked it out or not worked it out. Life goes on, man. You just gotta. But what you don't do is lead them in a situation like just abandoned, gone. It's selfish, man. Selfish indeed. But anyway, definitely gonna get ready to roll up out of here. Hey, as usual, I always appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Definitely subscribe. Trying to get these numbers up. Hey, let's just get it up to 100,000. Let's just get it to 1,000 right now. But anyway, man, I hope you guys be safe out there. Let's get ready to take this ride on the Trump presidency and see what happens. Definitely don't be fearful. Just be ready for opportunities and be prepared to create a new beginning for yourself. So yeah, I'm about to roll up out of here. We'll see you guys later on in the week. Foundation Kings continues. Let's keep it going, y'all. Let's get these subscribers up and let's keep this thing going. I appreciate y'all. For real.